So, I'm obviously here with a rising star, and I'm taking the opportunity to interview you before you blow up. Bob, you've already blown up.
Why would you? All right.
You busy telling me how you knew that this was your calling and this is where you were called to be. You know, there was certain affirmations and confirmations from different people within your space, and you knew about, okay, I know, like, I am living my truth, and you are gracing the screens and you're doing what you're called to do. What do you see now going forward? Like, where is your life headed? What are you hoping to get into? Has God spoken even more about your role and where your purpose is? Where you're supposed to be as of right now? Like, or is that too deep? Let's hear what you have to say.
I'm blushing right now
Okay.
because you just said you asked me most about what God said to me in terms of
Yeah.
and it's deep, man. It's deep, you know. But long story short, where He's taking me personally, God is on some. You know what? The person you have seen people in your space where you live need. I put you there because that's going to be you. You know? So, in terms of, let's say, casting calls maybe not coming this side and everything, now it's like, okay, gather the right information, the resources and everything so that can be you, you know? And where am I going with this? As far as I can. Because the thing is, it's not just about, it stopped being about me a long time ago. I don't believe I'm talented. I stopped that mentality a long time ago because talent can only get you so far. But a hard work can get you as far as possible.
But also allowing yourself to be led by God. Because your work can only get you so far, but God opening the right doors and leading you where you're supposed to be. It's very, very. I believe you're a spiritual person, but it's very important for someone to be rooted in God. In God. That's a very important part of living within your purpose.
Yeah, and also, God has. One thing God has done for me, especially in this phase and period, is gave me the solid foundation. And because now it's the thing of, I can't just assist or help the people over here, no. Even in other places that have the same geographical structure as where I am. You know what I mean? Because even when I write my scripts, man, I write scripts for the other me's.
Okay.
Out there. You know, so they see by, yeah, man, it's not just me who's like this. You know what I mean?
Relate something that they can relate to. Yeah.
But also not just, I wanted to get as deep and as personal about me as possible.
You talked about using pain in the past to fuel the fire within you. How did that come about? Is it because there's a lot of pain in the past, or you just create pain out of thin air, or is it also a part of like healing childhood traumas and things like that? What is that all about?
Okay, you mentioned too, it's about the pain that was there in the past years, and then not that I created out of thin air, but I summon it. And also, what was the third one you said?
Is it childhood traumas? Is
healing
it
them? Yes,
healing,
it's also about healing the childhood.
Oh, I love when that happens.
What?
I'm sorry, I really love when that happens. Like the two cars just parked next to each other. I really love when that happens. Okay, let's go. I'm a child like that. I love when that happens.
So
okay.
It's very personal, especially for the healing part. Because there was that little boy within me who... Oh, sure. There was that little boy in me, you know, in the past who was never heard, who couldn't explain, because every time he tried to explain, you know what I mean? And then it got to a point of, if I'm trying to, what am I explaining? Because I don't know how to explain it, I don't know what I'm feeling. Because in my surrounding, this emotion is not normal. You know what I mean? So now it's about just that same boy who seemed like it couldn't do anything or wouldn't be anything, now it's going to be as far as possible. And I want to be living proof that even whoever's going through currently that phase that I was in, they can also have the guts to say, the same way I did, like, I'm a beast though, and know that he's God. I'm going to just wait. Because I waited more than 12 years just for God to tell me, this is your industry. And I also want that to whoever's watching me or who looks up to me or follows me to also have that thing of, I'm also going through that. But if he is who he is now, meaning my time will come too.
I think it's very profound that you were already searching for your purpose in grade 8. Like, all of us are just trying to get through the system, just grade 12, university. You only start thinking, like, okay, like once, it kind of works backwards. But for you, having been conscious and cognizant of the fact that you need to find your path very early on in life. So that's great. How would you define your spiritual eye, or like how would you say you see the world spiritually speaking? There's people who see auras, there's people who sense energies, there's people who read minds, there's people who are gifted or are talented in that way. How would you say you relate with people? Because we're all connected in essence, and how open are you to the spirit?
So deep. So number one, I'm very energy sensitive. I sense emotion like nobody's business. The vibrations. I wouldn't say mind reading, because there's a lot of conversations people have had with, like, why are you reading my mind?
Yeah, exactly. I get where you. I'm asking this because I understand exactly what you were going to say. Yeah. Because it's like that. Like, it's not necessarily mind reading, but it is at the same time. It is because like Umdu could be quiet, but then a thought pops into their mind, and you can literally
feel it.
They say it, and you're just like, or they say you read like what I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird. But I'm just glad someone like relates with that, because sometimes I think I'm crazy. But continue.
So it's those two, and just a gift in itself. Yeah, the gift can goes very deep. In terms of just other people's pain, absorbing it.
Yeah. Oh,
and
it's one of the worst and the nicest things, because now you feel that pain, but then you can also heal them through it.
Yeah,
like
it's very you're threading on thin ice with that, because if you don't know how to channel it now, you've absorbed.
You don't know how to separate those boundaries. You need to be quiet. I've learned you need to be conscious. Like, okay, this is how I was feeling, and then this is how I'm feeling now that I'm with this person. It's possible that the energy and the pain and whatever I'm feeling, it's not mine, it's theirs. You need to just be conscious of the boundaries. And you too about getting how to channel that energy. Yeah. But how do you differentiate between like eyakho neyakhe when it comes to that?
By knowing who you are first.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It's like, okay, first thing that's gonna happen, right? Okay, you'll notice this energy, right? And then you're like, okay, first you'll notice the surrounding. Okay, is it the surrounding first? Okay, no, it's not the surrounding, because I've been around here. This doesn't. Okay, then what? Okay, now what's different now? I'm with this person. And then now your mind's gonna start jumping. Okay, they were acting this way. I was feeling that. Now okay, it's this person. So yeah.
And then I don't know. Like, am I the only person who can like even read emotion through text? Like, just get the subliminals of like you just always know like where you stand with a person. It's horrible though. That's the thing. It's great, but also I don't like it at the same time.
Have you ever
There's no mystery.
Listen, have you ever been to a point where you're in a relationship and you know it's gonna end?
You're just lying. You know what?
And
we're
you
just
still
watching it. You just at this point, it's nice though, because you make peace with things earlier and sooner. But it's not nice at the same time, because you're always in the know, and it's a gift to like always know what's coming. But it's also
it's gift and a curse. We're gifted with a curse and cursed with a gift.
People are living their lives, guys, but when you're spiritually cold and whatever, it's not like it's not easy to just ignore the fact that God is real and He's called you. You can't ignore your purpose.
It's funny because when you're called by Him, most cases in the beginning of your phase, before you were submissive into, giving in that, yes, I believe in God. First, you don't even care about it.
Yeah.
You're just like, who's that?
But once he's got you, that's the thing, is there's no looking back. Because if you don't just get there. He has to, like, it just, So now it's,
in my life, I literally, especially for what I do with my students and how I teach, I don't just get any student. And it's a specific few, and I've noticed these patterns. It's a specific few people come to me and be like, okay, for this and whatever it is I'm teaching them, it's something I've mastered in my life. God put me through such a long phase where, okay, I wasn't really living my life. I was living the lives of many people at once. So I know what they're going through.
Yeah.
And even that's where the empath kicks in terms of sometimes I'm drawing to come back. Okay, you're going through A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
And because it's not necessary that you see them, but you actually see yourself. A certain fraction of yourself within them. And you kind of like want to steer them in the right direction. And it needs so much discipline and
within yourself even. You need to get to that point within yourself.
And it hurts nowadays. And the reason I say so is because there's no truth, or the truth is so hard to find.
Not only that, but people aren't looking for the truth. They'd rather be blind to it and live blindly and
because they're scared.
It's so hard, to be in the world with people who aren't looking to be better, who are just today, like, this is where I am. This is there's no
fine.
growth.
And I'm like, but do you understand? And I remember I remember on Facebook the trend that was going on now about they were just lashing out at God and everything.
Oh, okay.
And to me, I didn't even respond or just like go in any comment section and try to explain. I tried, but then I was like, Ugh. And every time I try to explain in a certain way about God represents me, especially on social media. It can happen like this, but not on social. And one thing nowadays people don't understand, and God is a father. He's masculine, right? So his love is disciplinary. Hence, he'll tell you, tell me what you did, and then do as much as you can to stop it.
Yeah.
And it's fine, you can come in the crib. Basically. But in order to the path of God is literally about elevation.
Yep.
And you cannot elevate without strengthening. And that's why after you pray, it gets hard. Do you know what happens? You pray and you're like, okay, God, can I get this job? Can I get this? The reason why it gets hard is God shows you the first problem you need to take care of. Makes sense? Because there were all these things that were delaying you, and you weren't coming to him like, can you help me out? Now you're coming, you're like, God, please help me out. Now it's like, okay, here's the first problem you need to take care of. Right? And then you sort that out. Now, here's the tricky part. He also congratulates you for dealing with whatever that problem is. But it depends on how much you gave into dealing with it, how long the congratulation lasts.
Yeah, that's true. And also the discipline to stick with these things, because sometimes we want things but we don't have the discipline to stick to. Because it's easy to say, you know what, I want to quit smoking, and then you quit. A month later you're back at it, because the willpower, it's not enough to keep you going. But also there's so much strength in calling to God for is that you can't deal with. Like, he waters I posted this the other day, that he waters the seeds that we plant. So if you're planting the right seeds, he's going to get you where you are. If you're saying, this is what I want, like, I want to open my mind to the opportunities and possibilities that are there, he's going to keep showing you, okay, this is a business opportunity, this is he's going to show you in the manner that you're thinking. If you think that this is what you deserve, that's where you're going to be at. Because also to the fact that God has so much in store for you. He wants, like, he's a father, he wants to give you the abundance of everything in life, and you were born and created for a reason. And until you find that, you are living, there's
a saying. When you pray for the rain, you have to deal with the mud too.
That's the thing, is that we want the growth without the pain of growing.
Do you know how, I don't know, do you know how obsessed I am with not pain, but just seeing myself break into another form? Literally, and you know this about me. Like my mother, she knows this. Like right now, if there's something that says you need to be in Joburg tonight,
Yeah.
and by some miracle I get the 5 clipper, I'm leaving now. And if the bus is leaving in like 20 minutes, I'm not even passing by a home getting clothes.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm gonna tell you,
Trusting God to even guide you there when
I
you
will
get
risk
there.
my life anytime. I believe, because this is how I am. I have my own personal way with God and understanding. I didn't go the traditional cultural way of, I don't want to get into that, right?
You're gonna bust church now.
I didn't say that because, yeah.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Continue.
But it works for me. And it's that thing of, I want to understand you my own way so I know how to explain you to other people.
Okay.
You know? And my way of saying, another form of my way is saying, God, I trust you, is taking the risk. Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is, what he always provides. That's the thing, is that we're always fearful, but we don't account for the many times that he's seeing you through all the things that he's seeing you through. Like how many times have you worried, I want to, and then something happens, someone, like, you know, like he always shows up. And we just get so lost in the fear of, you know, and the husbands and stressing and things like that. But if you own, like, why would he not provide for you?
It's that thing of not knowing you're his child in the first place.
Oh. You know, I also want to get into this thing because, guys, I don't know. Or what? Because I truly believe that we are led by source. Like there is a greater being.
Yes.
We all know that. We can all agree to that. How is he revealing himself to us in different ways? How is it there's people who are in the church and have found and identified God in that way, and these people who say, I do it through traditional means, and, like, you know, because it works for people like and all of those things. But my thing is, how do we come to an understanding? Because how do you gel those things? How do you say, you know what, Trevor, I love you and I want to get married to you, but now how do we gel that thing? Like, how do you even begin to say, and me as a Christian and you as someone who practices your spirituality in a different way?
Let's
like you know,
okay.
Like how do those things work? And how, because it's here and we need to stop shying away from the fact that we don't identify spirits the same.
It's the thing of, one, there has to be honesty in both parties in terms of which one is inferior, which one is superior.
But does there have to be that balance though? Like,
it's not even in that sense, right?
Okay.
But it's a channel.
Okay.
Right? For instance, because I'm gonna tell you about me, and I'm saying that with my chest out. Me and my dialogue, it works for me. But I know when, as much as I can go to the guides or whatever, my ancestors and the declare and the tin, I know when they respond to God. Because it's such a beautiful structure. Who else better to take care of you than someone who's related to you?
But then there's also the argument that why would they now suddenly want good for you that side?
Now that is the reality. Of course, they're not going to want good for you that side. Now, when it takes in knowledge, you know what I mean? And also, just to go back to it, right? The thing is this: we have to accept that there's the good and bad in any vibration of these two, right? And there is a common ground. Hence, I say it needs honesty between both parties and knowing kubano yena and then lona. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. That's my chat with it.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it goes like it's way deeper and it's too complex for us to even explain in conversation. Like a religion and spirituality is just It's it's a Saturday. Oh, guys, that's another thing. I don't know. I feel like this conversation, it has like conversation, but
it quickly, and I loved it.
But okay, this is another thing. Let's speak truthfully about vices and addiction and how they affect our spiritual growth and you know where we're meant to be.
Yes.
They're a distraction. Plain out and simple. They're a health hazard. Plain out and simple. And where it has this benefit to a when I'm happy mentally, it clears you and whatever. Decisions, and I also have my own struggles. It's just that the consequences are not the same. Abanye are addicted to tick and it's nendo. But some people are addicted to something that is an addictive substance that is killing them in some way or another. Can we be honest about the fact that we need to overcome these things at some point?
Fact. And also just to not correct you, but just to put in my 2 cents. I don't really believe, and there's a reason why I say believe, not know. Right? Because that will be its own problem.
Okay.
I would rather say I believe. As much as we would like to think it has its benefits, but it's not really a benefit. Because if you can investigate what it's doing to make you think that there's the relief, it's actually causing damage.
And it is. And it's real.
It goes back to running away from working hard into elevating what we said into. You know what I mean?
And this is the thing, it doesn't happen overnight. That's the other part, is that
True.
It doesn't happen. It really needs consistent willpower and discipline and wanting to grow and things like, because you can literally feel your throat burning if you're smoking. You're like, you like the throat is creeping in, but you continue. Like, the thing is, I feel like that's where we need to pray to God the hardest. That we can't keep reliving the same chapter over and over again, knowing very well by Tinindo.
There's not a quote or something, but a saying of some sort. Dear God, please turn whatever obstacle is in front of me as a stepping stone. It's like, okay, it's the source of wisdom when you give in to God. You know? God says, come to me as you are. As you are. He's the Father. We cannot go up to him. And you know what he says? He says, come to me, let's reason. How amazing, how great is God for him to reason with us? Let's start there. Ne? To show that he has kaulela.
Yeah.
Ne? And he says, I smoke drugs, whatever. How many testimonies are there out there in terms of someone was smoking drugs, someone was a rapist, someone was a criminal, But that's who God wants to use. Because that's where the wisdom is.
Yeah.
Because that person's going to be able to explain, this is why I started this in the first place. Right? And this is how I was feeling while I was on the substance, and also while I'm with God. This is the transition, and how did the transition start? You know?
So we need to trust that it's heading somewhere. But unfortunately, this is the thing, is that we forget to understand that literally every single step, every single moment in our lives is thought out. We are living a mapped out. Yeah. You know, like, God is intentional about everything that happens in our lives. And that's what we forget first and foremost. Even meaning that even the fact that you keep on going to this boyfriend who's mistreating you, or the fact that you're smoking and you're doing whatever, it's intentional. It's for some reason. Because this is my greatest conflict right now, is that I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, I love God, I love Jesus, all of the all the Trinity given to me, right? And then I go and shock myself and I get a piercing. And I'm just like, okay, now this is now me and my journey, because I pray every single day. I even have moments of prayer and fasting, waking up at 4, doing, I am very much there. I'm very much pursuing my spiritual life and God wholeheartedly. And then I go and get a tattoo and I'm just like, what is happening? But now I'm thinking, because now the thing is this, I don't understand. I don't know, and I don't understand why I would do those things, because in the Ayazimos, how it's perceived in the Bible specifically, and I also know that I need to trust God. I can't trust Him that He's because I pray every single day. So that means that everything that I've already dedicated my whole life to Him, and He's leading and He's thingy. But we also have free will. That's the other thing. But again, within that free will, He knows the decisions we're going to take, because He's Alpha. He knows us. He knows every single hair on your head. Yes, we have a soft spot for that girl. And if He knows all of these things because He made you. But we need to trust that all of those things is overcome. You can't keep on doing the same things over and over again expecting a different result. But there's also those things where we need to just trust God. But you know what? This is maybe part of a bigger thing that I don't even understand.
It goes to that thing of, okay, when you love this person, right? And you're going to go back over and over and over and over. God knows what this person is doing behind your back and their mentality. And this person, this person's not an asset to you. Now, the problem's going to come here. God's going to give you all these blessings. And the life that He told you, the one that you imagine, because when you just think it's you don't understand that that's God telling you, this is what I have for you. And then you're going to get to the success. You're going to reach the money, the, good life, family and everything. You're going to have kids with this person. But this person's going to drain you. This person's going to take from you. Now, you won't fully be able mentally, internally and externally to give and share to God's people, the people that God will send to you to guide.
Because you are not where you're supposed to be, especially spiritually. Because you can't be... Because this is the thing, this is what I'm really coming to learn, is that as human beings, as people who love, we love to see the potential in people. Simbambe umdu city, you know what, I could build a life with this person. But you're forgetting that if they're acting up, if they're treating you wrong, if they're doing all these different things, red flags in our society to show you that, you know what, I don't value or respect you, it means they're not the one. But you see, because we have this idea that if a man approaches you, specifically in a woman's case, that's the best that you, like, just because they approach you, you compromise, okay, he doesn't necessarily pray, but it's fine. He doesn't believe in the same God as, but it's fine, you settle. Why? Because now the thing is, you don't understand where you're supposed to be in life. You don't understand your purpose. So now you're accepting whatever it is that comes. But is He going to lead you to your purpose? Is He going to help you with your purpose? Not only, but you need to be within your purpose before you, I feel like, before so that ungavumeli who is not aligned to your purpose. How are you going to understand and all of those things?
To give a testimony or just a certificate to what you're saying. Where I am now, and it's been that way for a while now, I don't care how close we are. Whoever in my life. Me, I'm at a point where, like, God has shown me my guy. God has put me in a position where even the family wasn't supporting what I'm doing. And God asked me, do you trust me? And I was like, yep. And everything goes good. Now, me, I'm at that point where I don't care who you are. I can love you so much. But I'm already prepared that we will break up, because I understand one thing about God. It's either you are a character in my life, or me in yours for a season, or a period, or a chapter, or a moment. Because there's something you're going to teach me, or I'm going to teach you.
And sometimes we want to keep chapter people for the rest of the book.
That's the problem. You get what I mean?
It's in understanding how He works. Obviously, we're going to grow through other people. He's going to reflect the things you need to heal. He's going to show you the things you won't tolerate anymore. He's going to teach you the discipline that you need through other people, and through how you get to where you want to be and how you advance in life is through other people. To show you that, you know what, I'm no longer the person who just sleeps on the first date, or I'm no longer the person who does this and this and this and this and this. But I don't know. I feel like, yeah, man, people, we need to raise our consciousness. We need to start thinking how he wants us to start seeing ourselves, as opposed to we just living life with our spiritual eyes closed. But yeah.
True, right? True. But it also goes to how umzekelo thina abantu bakholayo, because me, you know most, you know I'm your boy, and you know I believe this, and you know.
Yeah.
But it also goes kwathina sibantu bakholayo kuye. How do we perceive? How are we perceived? How do we make people perceive us? So, you know, for me, right? There are certain things in Zabasos and this term in public, right? But I know about, okay, in terms of totally, this is, I believe in this. Not that I am scared or whatever, but I know how, if it's in a certain way, ne? Will I really be an example now?
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
So, funeka ndibe shonga ndihlelele.
Yeah.
Then ngikwazi ukuthi, and also not just ndihlelele, but I have to understand a person who does not believe in who I believe in, so that I know how to put it to them.
But also, again, you need to, and I think I'm not, when I especially when I deal with people who don't believe in God, it's fine, because it's very hard to not believe that there's a, it's weird to understand, like, it's, you know. But then I wanted to go back to Landu Tetaya. Another thing is that we want to elevate, we want to grow, we see ourselves in a different, we want the finer things, like we want the abundance that God has to give us, but sometimes we're not ready to step up our character to align with where he wants us to be. If you say you want marriage, you need to be getting yourself ready, you need to be understanding, you know, all of those things, growing your character and things like that to get to that point. You need to understand first what even that institution, because it's a divine institution, what it requires, what it needs. And not only that, but I mean, like, if you want a godly marriage, you need to be abiding by his standards of courtship and dating and all of those things. I am saying this because, like, ngokufikayo ndiyagoa ndigoyiswa ngumakhulu who just said something to me, and I didn't say anything when she said it, but I understood that, you know what, it's showing me I could either be offended or learn from this and be like, okay, you know what, I get what she's saying and I'm gonna change my ways. This is a dress I've had since probably like 2018, and it used to be longer because I used to be smaller, right? So kushushu, I just took it out of the wardrobe and I just wore it. I don't really have a full length mirror, so I don't know what it looks like. But she said to me, and I could have easily jumped at her because it's hot, right? I'm like, you know, I could have easily said something, but I'm not. Firstly, I'm not that kind of person. But secondly, it made me think that, you know what, where I am in life is that I don't want to date for nothing. Not only that, but I'm obviously finding my purpose. I'm not even keen on dating. But it made me realize that didn't funum chato, and with a godly man, what am I attracting? Am I now ready to go to my wardrobe, the coupes on izindo that are going to attract izindo that I don't want in my life? Because it's easy for you to pray, but ndifuna umthatho, ndifuna le umyeni wakho uza kubona nje lo myeni une picture yakhe ba you want a godly man who prays, who does this. Would he be attracted to you looking the way that you do now? Who are you attracting? What are you attracting? Are you attracting what you're saying you want? Or are you living life the way that you've always lived, hoping that by chance things are because you need to change yourself first to align yourself with where you're saying you want to be. If you're saying you want to be in big screens but you're not going to auditions, how are you going to get there?
And also, it's that thing of ne. That's one thing about God, ne. You say you want you say you want money, ne? Okay. You say you want money, ne? Okay, I'm gonna give you money. And then it's gonna send Trevor into your life. And then Trevor's gonna tell you about money, or Trevor's gonna know someone who knows something about money, right? And you're getting closer to this money, right? And then you get this money, ne? And then you said to God, when I get this money, please show me how to invest it, ne? And then you're gonna go to the wrong person to invest it. Until you understand, it's gonna happen over and over and over. Until you understand, I'm supposed to be there, and you feel it. You know?
Yeah.
Because I noticed this because in terms of when you elevate, ne? You leave certain things and people behind.
Yeah.
And one or two things are going to happen if you hold on to these people. It's either you're going to pull them up and this whole infrastructure is going to fall, or they're going to pull you down, and then this whole infrastructure is going to cave in on you.
And you only prolonging, you're getting further and further away from where you should be. You're only prolonging your own progress from coming to you at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's like literally wanting to walk through a door, but exactly. And this is what I recently went through, is that I started dating this guy, and then I saw almost immediately he was very wrong for me. Right? Like 2 weeks in, probably maybe like a week in, I saw But my thing is, I always believe the potential in people. I'm like, I'm gonna pull him up. I'm gonna change him. Instead, he starts changing me. Not only that, but your life unravels. Your life becomes chaotic when you're not with the people who are supposed to be in your life. Chaos. And now imagine if you start sleeping with this person. How much more are you putting your how? You know, like it's the thing is so that they know that, but this is not how my life is.
It's a never-ending process, and that's what makes people scared.
Yeah, it's not a thing that you can just do and then that's
but
it.
It's like a 1 week course. Okay, I'm gonna fast for this week, and then to go and get some.
And then you're done.
Deuces.
I am a graduate.
You know, it's never ending, bro, and. I
discipline.
I feel like God, guys.
It's the most painful thing. No to yourself.
I feel like for me personally, because God's always put me in that space where I stand out. The more I try to fit in, the more I stand out worse. And
you're the light, dog.
You know? And obviously, when you don't understand it in the beginning, you know, it's you know, but I love how that, especially for my career, because me, I grew up being that guy who was different in school. You know, I used to walk. Do you know why I used to get bullied verbally in terms of, because I walk different, I think different, I talk different, everything. Do you know why that was that? Because I was a visionary. The way I used to walk. I used to walk in my school uniform and I'm successful already and I have a car and I have everything. And people would feel that, and then all those words, now that I'm in my industry, it's like, but that was preparation for the industry, because they're going to talk. People are going to talk and be like, because they feel intimidated, but where's the talent coming from? So let me say this, and then now it's coming like, used to it, right? Try something else. And instead I look at you, I'm like, okay, what does this person say? Is it me or is it them? Okay, what did I do? Okay, I didn't do. What is it there? Is it really them or is it something that happened to them? You know, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's just those things that I just wish people knew. And partially, the reason why it's so chaotic now is because people are not fulfilling their purpose and destiny. They're in places they're not supposed to be in. You know, in no offense, man, but in churches, the people were supposed to be the proper priests, aren't the priests. The teachers were supposed to be the proper teachers, aren't the proper teachers. Now I've been through that phase where I had a teacher who just for and but think about it, right? If you can have a proper teacher, let me there's a student over here and they're getting bad grades, for instance. Whose fault is it? Is it the student or the teacher?
You need to look at that and see.
Exactly. But let me say something. As much as it can be the student to a certain extent, but with the proper teacher, that changes. I've watched these movies where, you know, these guys had so much potential and everything, but they just didn't care. You know? And the right teacher just takes their time to learn this person, understand this person, goes to their background. And boom. Now imagine if we could all be in our place.
That's the thing. that people give up on themselves because for some reason we grow up thinking that things are just going to magically happen, but you need to work for what you not only even for, as we said, you need to prepare your character for Linda or to Funumakuru, and we're not ready to do that work. We're not ready to be disciplined, to be self-motivated, to I don't know. And it's not nice, to know that there are people who are living beneath where their potential.
It's for me, going back to what you're saying, the discipline and everything, it comes from a place of me. This is how I interpret it, right? The vision, you don't see the vision as bright as you're supposed to. Because for me, there's at something. I walk every day. 4 to 5 kilometers, 9 to 10 kilometers minimum a day. And every day, whether I have my students, whether it's just me alone, I'll spend probably 5 hours minimum to 8 hours rehearsing, playing around with characters. I haven't even gotten a script yet that says, okay, I have this guy, but I'm preparing for a character so that when it comes, I'm prepared. Why? Because this vision is so clear in my head. And it cannot come to a person because this vision and this blessing is so big and great. And it can't come to someone who's weak. Because it will crush me. Because it's that thing that only comes once. So I have to be prepared. So it just goes with that vision of how clearly are you focused, man. How do you see it? And also, it's not to see this vision clearly. You can't do it alone. You also have to have a circle who also sees their own visions clearly, because now you rub off on each other. It's like even if you're someone odom, like it or not, you're gonna rub off on each other. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the society of today, and I've accepted it.
But also understanding that in as much as you might have the clear vision, someone else might not understand. Someone else might judge you for chasing after Indo that doesn't seem like it has money now, but in the long run where it's leading, it might not seem like it's like a lot of people don't have to understand because you are the one who is living in their purpose, and the one thing you're on this earth to do is to fulfill God's will. Like literally. And the thing is, we get so obsessed with chasing it another life and forgetting that we are put here for a purpose and a destiny and a reason, and ours is to figure out why. You love speaking. Speak truth, speak knowledge, develop someone. Like, why you sing, heal people with your songs. There's so many different ways in which God has gifted us, and there's so many different ways for us. Us is all when I do one song, and how we heal and how we grow people won't look the same. But when you shine in your own little corner, and all the, I don't know, but just understanding that it won't be the same, but it's also very important to find a community of like-minded people who are going to help you along the way.
Exactly. And also, especially in terms of that, the more you don't realize your potential, you go to places that will tarnish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in the art space, you get silent. But when you're so in love with what you're doing, you see this vision, the high or the feeling you get, also if when you're rehearsing, man, imagine, my guy, I wish I could tell you or just be like a even the feeling I get when I'm rehearsing for 8 hours a day. Nobody has told me when I wake up at like 8 o'clock and I feel like I'm late.
Yeah.
I'll do my rehearsal and preach and then go. Like, because you laugh, like you feel it and it feels so good.
And that's the thing, is that I feel like it's so beautiful once you found that thing why you're here.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people find that very late on in life. But it's very nice to have found, why God has put you. I don't know. Because I feel like when you're a creative, there's so many different things that you can do, but to still be sticking to one thing and to still be saying, this is why I'm here and this is, it's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know. Maybe we should wrap up. We have spoken. We have spoken so much.
We've done all.
You've definitely given me a bit more into Trevor and your thought process, and then this is what I wanted because I needed to dig deep. Yeah.
This was bruh. Aye, it's a technique. I feel aye. How about your laugh? See,
now this is me. Now I get people talking. I get people.
Lovely, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still I haven't figured out fully where God is taking me, but I believe that I'm in the right space. I wanted to do my own things, but he was like, you are here. I'm putting you here. And every single day I'm understanding why that is.
Yeah.
I'm shocking myself. Even when you're not feeling your best, but you're doing your best. Because like it's like it's just and it's amazing when you just grow where God has put you. God has put me here because it's not But man, so we'll see you next time on TV.
Right, yes. Kanum kumbulo guys, mbukela ni TV. Kanum English. Yeah, dog.